And welcome back to Janky AF and Year of the Aerostar, episode number 75. Well, 75 is sort of a milestone, I suppose, a good round number. Excuse me. So I thought I'd do something special. Now, I hope you've been enjoying our Mexican residency, but we're going to take a trip slightly north and slightly to the east into South Carolina. And this is something, you know, really different in terms of the Aerostar realm, and yet it still qualifies as an Aerostar, so that allows us to show the full breadth of the Aerostar and what it represents as an automobile. Now, we've talked a lot on this program about how versatile the Aerostar is. It's been so many different things: ambulances, police cars, taxis, ice cream machines, and then just, you know, everyday consumer vehicles for passengers, as well as cargo vans for innumerable businesses and entrepreneurial efforts. We've even shown an Aerostar that is a monster truck, and this is trending in that direction, but it's not even quite that. So unfortunately, I don't have a year on this particular Aerostar, so I can't say this is a 19 whatever. So we'll just say here we have a Ford Aerostar Tank. That's right, folks. Listed for $92,000, also the most expensive Aerostar I've ever seen, in Ridgeland, South Carolina. And as you can see, this is an Aerostar up on tracks, and it is a legitimate tank. This is the overtime tracks, and I'll just sit here for a moment and let you all drink this in. Now, I can speculate a little bit that is between an 86 and an 89, judging by the grille, although to be honest, this grille almost looks like custom fabricated. It doesn't look like an actual stock Aerostar grille, and the Ford oval, blue oval logo looks bigger, so I really couldn't even tell you. We don't have wing mirrors on it, and you know, obviously all the signs of what year it would be, including the interior, as we'll see in a second, have been taken away. So we're not sure what year you know, this was made out of. It's really just a shell at this point. There's not much Aerostar you know, running gear remaining. However, despite that, it really is sort of the perfect body design and shape to pick. I think if you put a different you know, van or truck body on this tank, it wouldn't look quite as good. I think the sleek aerodynamic design kind of fits perfectly, and actually, if you want to really get into it, this you know, angle here by the hood and window line is actually kind of perfectly symmetrical to the bottom line of your track right here. So it creates this sort of symmetrical, you know, triangle round shape here, as does the back. Over here, because the rear window swoops backwards, down and away, and then the track comes kind of in and forward. So it has this sort of you know, reflecting pool symmetry, and I think that's quite cool. So we will look at some more pictures in just a second, but I have to shout out Auto Evolution, which is where I found this thing. And we'll go ahead and just read this article. Again, a little different, but it's sort of a, you know, just something different in the Aerostar realm. Travel to the hidden side of the moon in this tank-like $105,000 Ford Aerostar. So right off the bat, you know, we can see that this thing has already been brought down to $92,000. So, you know, a discount of $13,000. So, you know, maybe you could bargain with them even a little bit further. And this listing is January 13th, 2023. So, you know, this article is the 24th of August, 2020. So it's been for sale for some time now. And, you know, perhaps you make them an offer they can't refuse, and you could be the proud owner of this Ford Aerostar Tank. They say the sky is the limit when it comes to innovative creations stemming from human imagination. Well, you could say that, you know, you could stop right there and just say, you know, behold the Ford Aerostar. But this is not the case. Actually, it is the other way around in this case. The toughest off-road terrain is the name of the game when it comes to this tracked contraption based on the unassuming Ford Aerostar van. Now that I take a little issue with, because You know, okay, yeah, the Aerostar is this humdrum minivan that everybody's forgotten about, except, you know, obviously you good people who are watching Year of the Aerostar here on Janky AF. However, I have seen several off-roading Ford Aerostars. Now, the Ford Aerostar was made with a factory four-wheel drive option. So to call it completely unassuming, you know, if this was like a PT Cruiser or something like that, and actually I just saw a lifted PT Cruiser look great, but neither here nor there. I think the Ford Aerostar van, and in these videos, one of these off-roading videos I watched, a bunch of the Jeeps and stuff were getting stuck, and the Aerostar van actually made it through the big puddle swamp or whatever it was going through. I'm not an off-road enthusiast per se, but I have a lot of respect for the people that do it. It looks like great fun and certainly a lot of ingenuity and even sort of like engineering and problem solving going on. As one of our lights goes out here on Janky AF, the jankiest automotive channel on the entire internet. So, of course, I take issue with that because, you know, as this, you know, Aerostar sort of evangelist, I'm always going to be a stand for the Aerostar. Goes on to say, some will say this creation that has been listed for sale on racingjunk.com, which is a hilarious name for a site, is a worthy contender to the title of weirdest Mad Max Fury Road American-inspired project. Some will say it has been done on other occasions with input from childlike fantasies. Others might disregard it as a curiosity stemming from the crazy imagination of the builder. Well, even if it is a curiosity stemming from the crazy imagination of the builder, I don't see why that's any reason to discard it. We, on the other hand, speaking for Auto Evolution, think it would be worthy of entering the segment occupied by Torsus and its two epic named bus conversions, aka Praetorian and the newer Terrastorm. Now, I don't know what those are. You can look those up on your own if you'd like, but we're sticking with the Aerostar for now. Or at least qualify for a hidden niche, expeditionary vehicles capable of carrying two people and nothing else to the far end of the world. Yes, it would be a very small niche, but then again, you can only expect so much from a tracked creature that was born out of a marriage between a Ford Aerostar and two 572 cubic inch big block Chevrolet V8s. We'll get into that in a second. The latter even wear 871 blowers, just so you know you could scare the pants off any grizzly bear you might encounter during your adventure. The unit's description is seriously lacking in the information department, and I did notice that, and that's, you know, kind of a shame. But digging up a little revealed the name Overtime Tracks. Well, that's in the pictures. No offense to Auto Evolution, but that didn't take too much work. That is currently written on the body. Does stand for something. Oh, okay, I see. My apologies. Allegedly, the tank-like creation was created for a monster truck driver, Chandler Lloyd, and back then was called Bigfoot Fast Tracks. Okay, so they actually did find out some sort of information about this vehicle. No matter the actual history, Overtime Tracks does come with a steep market price of $105,000, now $92,000, and makes up for that by sporting the tracks, two V8s, cockpit gauges for each engine, tank-like lever controls, and the overall menacing vibe that says, "Get out of my way." No worries about not having time to do so because the behemoth does not look particularly fast. Well, I don't know about that. You know, it's obviously putting down a lot of power. You know, you wonder if it can do like a wheelie or anything like that. Okay, so we probably should look up Chandler Lloyd and look up the Bigfoot Fast Tracks here. Just real quick, you know, don't mind that Aerostar there. As I look up Bigfoot Fast Tracks and see if that was indeed an Aerostar as well. It looks like it was. Okay, so I think I've actually seen this thing before. And obviously, this was, wow. The looks like the same body. I gotta say, I really like the original look of the body here. But obviously they've painted it in a new livery. It has the same scoop on the roof and everything. So there you go. 1990. You know, I was gonna guess that it was 1990, although that may not be the, that might just be the year. Some more pictures of it there. Here's a good one right there. Wow, look at that. I mean, that paint scheme is really, really awesome. I really wish they had kept that. You know, if I were to purchase this vehicle, I'd probably return it to its original paint scheme. Boy, that thing is amazing. We should probably, you know, watch some video of this, which I'll probably do. Sorry I'm not more prepared, but I'm learning as you learn on the fly here. So there you go. You can have the original Bigfoot Fast Tracks tank that is now called the Overtime Tracks for $92,000 American US dollars. Let's look at some of these pictures. It's really, really interesting. Real briefly, we'll go. The description really doesn't say much. From famous racing team you all know. I'm guessing that's the Bigfoot racing team. Restored by former monster truck racer Overtime. Parade capable. Parade capable is like you know, what's that tantamount to in a Facebook posting? Like you know, lot drives. Lot drive. So like it'll move under its own power, but don't take it on the street. Parade capable. Although maybe that's saying that, you know, it can drive at slower speeds in addition to fast speeds. I don't know. 871 blower, twin 871 blower Chevrolets. Name doesn't stay. Huh. So that means, are you forced to paint it? I don't know. It won't let you use Overtime tracks. Numerous spare parts. Delivery available. So, you know, save yourself a few $1,000s just on delivery probably there. And there you have it. A very curiously mysterious vehicle here. You can see all the controls. A lot of controls there, a lot of toggle switches, a lot of, it looks like it has, you know, individual, which I think they mentioned in the article, individual controls or gauges, you know, temperature gauges and whatnot, RPMs for each engine. It looks like along with maybe start or kill switches there. I love the, you know, the stamped metal here. Very cool look, fits very well in here. And then we have, you know, you can see just the tiny bit of one of the two Chevrolet big block engines there. The curious thing to me, which I wonder about this from an engineering standpoint, there you go. Your transmission, temperature, oil, and coolant. So water, pretty basic there. Fuel pump, water pump. Looks like you're probably turning all that stuff on manually. We have some sort of lever here. And there you go. Good shot of the cockpit here with your racing harnesses. Looks like pretty comfortable, you know, racing seats. A fire extinguisher, which is probably always a good idea. Now, I have never driven a tank. I would imagine it's something like a skid steer, any tracked vehicle. I really do like, I gotta say, I like how you have these, like, you know, Ford or just general like automotive style wheels on these tracks. It does give it like a look of a more, you know, slightly pedestrian looking vehicle there. So, boy, look at that. Look at how high up you're riding. I love that they kept the door handle in. Now, I did notice in this, I thought in the Bigfoot picture, yeah, you have the passenger side door handle still present, whereas in this, it's gone. So, you know, presumably it's the same vehicle. I don't see if someone was going to make like a replica or a copy of that, but just an interesting detailed note. Just the idea that the door handle's on there at all is kind of hilarious, because obviously you're not opening the door, and it's, I'm sure, all, you know, bonded together there. Another shot of those, quite beautiful with that exhaust. Twin Chevrolet V8 engines. There you go, emergency kill switch. Old school motorsports, spelled with a K, of course, with some, I mean, you know, it looks very, very professionally done, I will say that. Now, here's the thing that I didn't understand, like, just from an engineering standpoint. Now, I'm clearly not an engineer or that mechanically inclined, but, you know, just a question I have. Looks like you have individual bell housings coming off of these two supercharged Chevrolet big block motors. I'm wondering if there's actually two separate transmissions. Like, does one transmission control one track and the other, and they're completely split side by side? That would kind of make sense with your two levers. But I don't know. If anyone has operated a tank or a tracked vehicle, let me know how that works, because it's very curious to me that there's, you know, two transmissions. Sorry if that's a stupid question. Again, you know, just really well done. I mean, look, everything looks like super professional and just looks like in very good condition. It doesn't look like it's, you know, been used and abused that much. Looks like it's probably fresh off of its rebuild. Again, looks like a MSD. Boy, just something to behold. I mean, an absolute, you know, curiosity is right. And I wonder also where these seats, you can see how large the vehicle is, you know, compared to these seats. Looks like the seats fit pretty nice into the shell of the Aerostar here, and you kind of see some structural support there to bind this entire shell together. Boy, what I wouldn't do to have a drive in this vehicle. Maybe I'll get a hold of the seller and see if he's willing to do a review on it. For Every Tank is a Great Tank, our new series on Janky AF. So, interesting paint scheme. Looks like kind of the old school, the shop that built it, looks like their kind of livery there. And I guess you'd have to paint it. I mean, maybe we could make it the, Janky tracks or something like that. Have it be a Janky, add it to the Janky fleet there. So, boy, oh boy, I just thought that, truth be told, I'd seen this before and always wanted to do one on it. And then it sort of repopped into my consciousness and thought we'd do something cool for episode number 75. So there is out there an Aerostar Tank. And to me, it's so perfect because, as I said in the introduction, it just fits in so perfectly with the Aerostar ethos. Like, the Aerostar can and is every vehicle. Like, there's nothing that you can't turn an Aerostar into. What I would really like to see is an Aerostar drift vehicle. Lower it, maybe give it some more power, get one with a manual transmission. It already has the handbrake, so I don't see why you couldn't turn an Aerostar into a drifting vehicle. There's pretty much an example of an Aerostar doing just about everything in the automotive world, and I just think that's so cool and kind of, a very extreme example, but it does sort of exemplify what the Aerostar is. Just a do anything vehicle, and I think that's really, really cool. Let's look at one more shot of the Bigfoot tracks, jumping over a bunch of cars here. It looks like they did an Econoline version of it too, actually, which is interesting. It's just outrageous. So you went through several different, liveries here. And, with all that power, yeah, you would think that it could be able to, pull the front end up there. Ever wondered what happened? I guess we'll do a little overtime here. If you're interested, ever what happened to the Bigfoot Fast Tracks? Well, it was rebuilt by Chandler Lloyd and is now called Overtime Tracks. Be sure and stop by the 2018 open house to see this awesome vehicle on display. Why is this person saying, wow, that sucks? Too bad you got rid of it. I loved watching that thing rip. Huh. Well, there you see it on this flatbed truck. This is Bigfoot 4x4, so unrelated there. There's a nice John saying hello in his big Ford truck. I'll see if we can get back to the previous picture. Oh. Apologize, this episode. Well, if you've made it this far in Year of the Aerostar, you're probably okay watching this. But we'll get another shot of it here that we haven't seen previously. A little bit better shot of the livery there. And actually, it looks like it's a double bubble too, which would make sense for the twin engines. But you get to see a shot of it that we haven't seen before. Chain down there on this massive flatbed. But boy, to think and just to know that this thing is still out there is really just cool. 112,000 views, so that's pretty cool. Maybe they'd let us take it for a drive. Who knows? Maybe we'll shoot them an email, and it doesn't hurt to ask, right? So there you have it, the 1990, we'll call it, Ford Aerostar Tank, the former Bigfoot tracks, now the Overtime tracks, and we have made it to overtime here in Year of the Aerostar. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little, something different in the Aerostar world. I got plenty more Aerostar content coming up. We may go back down to Mexico, but as I'm sort of breaking away briefly, I may sort of do a couple other, not oddities, but a couple other foreign Aerostar stuff I really want to get just in case it gets sold. And maybe we'll meander back down to Mexico. Maybe we'll pop up through Southern California. You never know. Like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? But the Aerostar edition here on Year of the Aerostar. So, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We really appreciate it. Hope you appreciated that little Fiat content we did, and we had some great comments and viewership on that. So, Janky do thanky. Stumbling over my words to everyone who checked that out. And if you're here for the Aerostar content exclusively, well, Janky do thank you to you too. Glad to have you here, and we'll have more coming for you very soon. And until then, Janky do thank you.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.